with Frank Piasecki, the President of Activ Financial, who's joined with his colleagues Mike Dunne and David Hann. Gentlemen, thanks for taking time away from Trade Tech in order to talk to automated trading.
Thanks for your interest in Activ.
You've had an interesting release recently. You're very well established in your domestic market and also in Asia, but you've recently announced the launch of your business in Europe. Can you give us a little bit more detail about the rationale for coming into such a well-established and mature market?
We've been very excited about this announcement. In all measure, I think we're a global industry, and Activ has been pursuing very successful regional strategies and has developed a maturity to enter into the most sophisticated global market, essentially based here in Europe. Our data requirements and our platform maturity address a lot of the problems that we hear from customers in the EMEA region, and it's appropriate, I think, in terms of competitive offering to start to make sure that Activ is part of the mix.
Now, in order to achieve this, you've made some very high-profile hires recently, which I think David's joined you from Interactive Data. Tell us a little bit more about your background, David.
Yeah, basically I've been involved in the market data industry for about 20 years now, encompassing content, but as well as content hosting, telecommunications. So as we all know, the full sort of life cycle of being able to provide data at a low latency basis with quality involves all of those capacities. So I think, joining a company like Activ is quite exciting in the sense of where the European market is. I think we've got a proven track record in the actual space that we operate. So we may be new to the European market, but we're not new to the market. We've already resolved a number of challenges in the industry in respect to latency, in respect to quality, and we just envisage being able to do that more again on the European basis. So, my background has really been in this industry, servicing the financial industry, not only in Europe, but right across the world. So we're going to take the good things from Activ and make sure we can provide those to the European client base.
Very good. In the United States, you've been through the type of fragmentation that we're now seeing here in Europe. Tell us a little bit about the challenges that fragmentation creates from a market data vendor's perspective, from a feed perspective, in terms of keeping up with this rapidly changing landscape.
It's been an exciting time. I think Mike can comment on some of the technical challenges that it poses us as an aggregator. But for customers, it's really put the lie to the issue of how to treat data in their business model. And the expense both from a licensing point of view, a communications point of view, and then a data processing and support context are really profound. And when you add up in the States TotalView, OpenBook, ArcaBook, DirectEdge, and others, you start to have a deep sense of cost. And it's been our objective to minimize the impact that these trading venue opportunities for our customers expose themselves to.
Yeah, and it means there's more software and product to develop, there's more communication lines to run, there's more servers to deploy. So some of the things that we've been bringing into the marketplace, hardware acceleration to lower the amount of servers that we need to deploy, and really the cost of ownership around the platform we have. Content addition in our model is very easy. Change, if you like, is built into the fabric of our platform. So onboarding new content and new venues is safe and natural for us. So I guess we're benefiting from really a well thought out design from really several years ago.
And I think here in Europe, where the MTS, the dynamism of the market here, especially in the cash markets in London, that's an expensive thing to keep up with. And as we see, some of these venues may or may not exist. You can spend a lot of time keeping up with these feeds, only to find out that liquidity actually doesn't survive there. So I think it's quite important that a responsible approach is, look, we've got that coverage for you done. You're not chasing the kind of work it takes to keep up with the markets where you want to trade.
You must have seen over recent months with all of the changes, the structural market changes that we've seen, that a lot of market participants have had to reinvent themselves. What sort of things have your customers been asking you for in the last 6 months that perhaps you hadn't been asked for before?
I think fundamental business challenges are forcing customers to focus on their trading strategies. They're now absolutely going global. It's very rare to find somebody who's not chasing an instrument around the globe. That means their content requirements have to be global, and that's where we've been working and investing fundamentally. It also means that they need a lightweight touch to technology. They don't want to have a big infrastructure on their own in a central way. They need to be everywhere, and I think customers have come to rely on Activ to provide that kind of shared global footprint, gets them out of that.
So it's about getting connectivity and getting it quickly and easily in a very manageable form.
Exactly, without a reduction in service level.
And I think it's fair to say that people are also looking for that total cost reduction as well. So, we've been sort of thought leaders in looking at advanced technology to basically reduce the cost of bringing in this data for a lot of firms. Where before it was like, let's throw as much money at it as we can. It's now like, let's try and get what we need at the end of it, but at the most cost-effective way, and using the most dynamic technology that's out there.
People, when they started getting low latency solutions requirements, started out sort of doing it on their own. I think Activ is making a very serious argument about, listen, it's not appropriate for you to spend your energy doing direct efforts like that. If you can trust the way we're doing it, and we're capacitizing the system for the future, the way we're deploying very aggressively new technologies into the space, you're going to trust us with that problem.
Well, gentlemen, best of luck with your launch into Europe. It must be an exciting time for you, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.